What's going on? I was hoping to get you guys a better view, but connection kind of terrible down here down the shore. So we're going to do it from here on the steps. So the aesthetics, not as pleasing. But here we go. Eagles 53-man roster has been unveiled. Now let's go through it. Not too many surprises. I like seeing TJ Edwards make the team. So that was the one I was looking at, and he made the squad. So here we go. Quarterbacks. We obviously know who the quarterbacks are. Carson Wentz, Josh McCown. Obviously, Sudfeld broke his wrist in the preseason opener against the Titans. Cody Kessler subsequently suffered a concussion. So that led to the signing of Josh McCown. He makes the roster, tossed a pair of touchdown passes when the Eagles played the Ravens in week 3, 17-24 in that game, 192 yards. So the question here is McCown now the backup and Sudfeld the third guy? Interesting. So McCown looks like he's the backup at the moment. All right, running backs. Nothing too surprising here. Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, Darren Sproles, and Corey Clement. Clement returned from his torn ACL injury in week 3, solidified himself as the 4th running back on the roster. Had a couple nice early runs against the Ravens, got him out of the game, and he's the 4th guy. So he makes it over Josh Adams. I've talked about this during the week. He looks a little stiff and uncomfortable catching passes out of the backfield. That's something that's really important for the Eagles running backs. And then obviously, I'm sure you guys might have seen the news earlier. Wendell Smallwood finally cut. 3 years with the Eagles, and his demise is finally here. So crowded Eagles backfield, and he is now gone. All right, wide receivers. Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Nelson Aguilar, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, and Mac Hollins makes the team. If there was a move that I'd say people probably disagreed with most, it'd probably be this one, Ward. I think a lot of people seem to want Ward over Hollins. This is where I thought the Eagles were going to go. I thought they were going to go special teams. Ward has shown some things over his last 3 years here with the Eagles. This is his 3rd summer now where he's gotten cut. Quick and jittery out of the slot. He showcased some things, but I thought Hollins was always going to be the 5th wide receiver who was going to make this team because of the special teams prowess. Special teams, those last final guys who make the team, that's what's imperative, and that's why Hollins is on it at the moment. A little surprising, Eagles only keeping 2 tight ends at the moment. Josh Perkins does not make the team. So Richard Rodgers was placed on season-ending injured reserve due to I think it was a lower left leg injury. He suffered during those joint practices with the Eagles and Ravens. So it is possible that if Rodgers' injury isn't season-ending, he can be released with an injury settlement and then be added to the active roster when he's healthy. So Rodgers is a guy, he missed the first 10 games last year with a knee injury, had never been hurt before last year. So he was in Green Bay before that, 6 years, never got hurt before, missed the first 10 games last year, and then obviously suffered the injury here. So this is something to watch. The Eagles, they're going to be looking at the other cuts around the NFL, and they're going to bring another tight end in here because they're not going to head into the season with only 2. So that means one of the guys who has made this initial 53-man roster will be released. So shout out, Dr. Onage, CBK, $9.99 donation. Glad you're back, my dude. Go Birds. Dude, appreciate the donation as always, man. Really, really appreciate that. Okay, so let's keep running down here. Obviously, the tight ends who made the team, Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. Offensive line. 10 guys make the team. Jason Peters, Lane Johnson, Andre Dillard, Jordan Mailata, Nate Herbig, Brandon Brooks, Isaac Seumalo, Halapoulivaati Vaitai, Matt Pryor, and Jason Kelsey. So the surprising move here, well, not really surprising because the coaching staff doesn't seem to like him, and that's Stefan Wisniewski. So he is not on the team. and Nate Herbig is. Jordan Mailata makes it, and Matt Pryor makes it. So Matt Pryor, to be honest with you, I don't think he's really shown a lot of anything this preseason, but he's playing 4 different positions, a lot of versatility, and he makes the team. So he makes it. Again, Nate Herbig is another guy who makes it, and Jordan Mailata, but no Stefan Wisniewski. Defensive ends. I did not think the Eagles would keep 6 defensive ends. I knew that they would keep 10 defensive linemen, but I didn't know if they would keep 6 defensive ends, and they did. So Sharif Miller makes the team. So those final couple spots, so Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, Vinnie Curry, those were obviously guys who were going to make the team. Then you had Deshaun Hall, Josh Sweat, and Sharif Miller. Out of those 3 guys, I thought 2 of the 3 were going to make the team. I didn't think 3 of the 3 would make it. I thought what was going to happen was a potential phantom IR situation with Sharif Miller, but he makes the roster instead. So Brandon Graham, Derek Barnett, Vinnie Curry, Deshaun Hall, Josh Sweat, Sharif Miller, and then obviously you look at Hall. He was the MVP of the preseason, NFL leading 4 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 4 tackles for loss, 9 quarterback hits. He was all over the place, and it'll be interesting to see now as the season is now here, can he translate that success to when it really matters? So that's, obviously you gotta watch out for that. So he always had a reputation of being an athletic but light pass rusher. He used to be 260 pounds, but he packed on 30 during the offseason, transitioned to a 4-3 defensive end, was playing 3-4 last year, and obviously building that strength has certainly paid dividends for him. All right, defensive tackles. Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson, Timmy Jernigan, and Hassan Ridgeway make the team. So the wave here, the cut made here was Trayvon Hester, the hero of the double doink. So obviously a plethora of depth here at defensive tackle. They keep Sharif Miller over Trayvon Hester. So they only keep 4 defensive tackles. They keep 6 defensive ends, and that's that. But some of these defensive ends, obviously Brandon Graham, that's a guy who can slide inside and take some snaps at defensive tackle on 3rd down. So obviously some versatility among the defensive linemen. All right, moving on to linebackers. I ruined it earlier. TJ Edwards made the team, undrafted Wisconsin product, made one final statement on Thursday night, racking up 10 more tackles. So he makes the team. Alex Singleton does not make the team. Not really surprising, but he was another one who was balling his ass out during training camp and the preseason. He had 15 tackles on Thursday. So, that was a shit show of a game, but Alex Singleton and TJ Edwards, they shined through the stink. So nice to see him make it. Here's your team. Here are your linebackers: Nigel Bradham, Kamagru Hill, Zach Brown, LJ Fort, who I thought also had a great preseason. He's been flying around all over the ball, and Nate Jerry, and then TJ Edwards. So those are your guys. And then cornerbacks: Ronald Darby, Rasul Douglas, Sidney Jones, Avante Maddox, Cravon LeBlanc. So I guess the news here is Orlando Scandrick. Scandrick was released Friday, but he could return after week 1. He wouldn't come on a guaranteed contract since he didn't make the initial 53-man roster. So maybe that's something the Eagles are looking at there money-wise. Maybe they want to save a little money. I don't know if he would come back to the team or not, but he kind of struggled during the preseason anyway. So I think he's like 32 years old now. Is that what he is, Orlando Scandrick? So there we go. Jalen Mills placed on the PUP list. Safeties, they keep 5. Malcolm Jenkins, Roddy McLeod, Andrew Sendejo, Jonathan Cyprian, and Rudy Ford. So I knew Cyprian was going to make the roster, but I was curious if they would find a way to make Ford get on the team. And it's a little surprising that Ford and Matt Collins both make it. So Chris Maragos, obviously not in Philadelphia any longer. So you look at another guy here who can play little special teams like Maragos did, in Rudy Ford. I was curious to see if if Ford would potentially make the team, and then Greg Ward would make it as a receiver over Hollins, but they go with Ford and Hollins, so they both make it. But it wouldn't surprise me also if Rudy Ford is the guy who is released once the Eagles go and sign a tight end. So he may not even make the team anyway. All right, that's it pretty much. Special teams, Cameron Johnston, Jake Elliott, Rick Lovato. There we are. So the Eagles 53-man roster has finally been unveiled. The preseason is over, and next week we finally get to the good stuff. So there's the video here. Sorry for the lack of aesthetics. I want to get some nice views in here, but unfortunately connection didn't work its way with me, but that's okay. I'm out of here. Take care. Oh, we're at 67 live viewers right now. Only 2 more for 69. Should I just wait till we get to 69 viewers? 68. One more. Oh, who left? Oh, people left. We need to get to 69. You can't leave. No, don't leave. No. All right, well, I'm leaving then. Fuck you.